Hello and welcome to We Promise Nothing, where we discuss anything and everything in the world of video games. I'm the Syndrome, and today with me are Take a Chance,
Hi, take a chance back as the Canadian representation of the panel, so no one really cares what I say.
pretty much, and Mr. Stump.
I really don't care what Chance has to say.
Hmm.
Too true. Our topic today is the death of printed media in the gaming industry, and who wants to get us started on that?
I'll kick us off. Recently, well, pretty recently, Ubisoft came out and they're like, okay, well, from now on, to be a greener company, we're not going to put manuals in games anymore, which continues their streak of trying to ruin gaming for everybody forever. But this is also a pattern of gaming magazines going under, and they're the ones that are left are reinventing themselves constantly, struggling to keep up with the blogs and things of that nature. So really, all in all, is it a bad thing we're losing these things, or is it a good thing that we're moving on to like a more digital format?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a natural evolution. I mean, it was gonna happen. Like everyone was talking, ever since we discovered we could put books on computers. I mean, well, it's always been text first on PCs, but
That was kind of the
yeah,
light bulb in the head. Oh, we
There
can
are
put
books
books
on
on computers?
computers.
we can put what? But yeah, people have always talked about how books are eventually going to be replaced by like visual books, like data cubes or something like that. And so I reckon this is just a natural evolution because of the fact we can do it. There's a free source like online for distribution. You know, nothing needs to be printed, none of that. It's it was going to happen. I don't think it's a bad thing it's happening now.
All right, Chance, do you have any thoughts?
I just look at their reasoning for it, and they say, oh, it's environmentally friendly, and this will help with the environment, and it's environmentally friendly, and
You said
it'll
that.
help with the environment. But no, that
Yeah,
was
okay.
mainly
It's
that was
environmentally friendly and it'll help with the environment.
yes, but
And is it
that was
environmentally
really
friendly though?
yes.
Only if it helps with the environment.
But that was really the real explanation that they gave to anybody for doing it was that, we're doing it to be green. But like they even said, like, whenever people started questioning their motives, they said we don't even know how much money we're going to save by doing this. And the question is, did they actually do it just to save money, or did they do it to be green? And that's the question, because I'm pretty sure that companies that are going green now and doing stuff with digital media, I don't think their motives are to be green. It's to save the money and the printing costs and that's I think that's all they do it for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll agree with that.
Yep. Now, the only thing is it's it's true that like magazines, the only positive magazines have is like everyone reviews stuff before they get reviews out. Everybody announces new stuff before they ever get this. Like all they get is some exclusive screenshots here and there, and you have the ability to read them while pooping. So I don't think it's that bad that we're gonna lose it. Because if we didn't have the print media for games, then I think all the blogs and whatnot would just get those exclusive screenshots. Your Destructoids and whatnot would get all the
Destructoids and your
exclusives.
Well, really,
Kotakus.
really, the
Yes.
gaming manuals haven't been good for a while anyway. Like, there
Yeah.
hasn't been a spectacular gaming manual. Like, before, I remember when I was a kid and I got a Super Nintendo game, they came with books. They weren't manuals,
Oh
those things
yeah.
were books, and you could read through them and learn about the story. And, like, if you didn't read the manual, you were screwed.
Yeah.
What was Metal Gear Solid? Was it Metal Gear Solid
Yes!
1
Metal
or
Gear Solid 3
3?
had a comic in the beginning.
Yep. However, now that was always a substitution because they were limited by what they could do. You couldn't include that backstory in the game and have it, not be a fucking book. So, but now we have ways of having the interactive media, et cetera, et cetera. So, and especially things like tutorials have taken a big bite out of what you needed from manuals, which is how the hell do I do that? How do I
I was actually just
jump
about to
with my stupid little Mario tail
I was
with the
just about to
raccoon
ask that.
tail in Mario?
Will this new, online distribution of gaming manuals make the actual game tutorials themselves be longer? Because you can't open your book in front of you and learn how to do things. They seem to have to baby step you through it through the first
Well,
hour and a half of the game now, or like Final Fantasy 13, the first 25 hours of the game before you get
yeah,
to it. Like,
yeah.
like
Too
it's
true.
Well, they are including in their grace a PDF file of what the manual would have been if they weren't ruining gaming. So,
Well, I mean, we say this. We're saying like, oh, they're being dicks by not doing this, but Valve have been doing this for the longest time. Now, you can argue that Valve get away with it because they pretty much own digital distribution on
Yeah.
PC. It's their thing.
distribution.
Whatever.
I let it go once.
Okay, fuck you. Distribution. Anyway, they own that. But if you ever bought a Valve game, I don't know if you guys have disc copies of Valve games, but Half-Life 2, ever since then, ever since Source Engine, they've only been putting a leaflet with
Yes.
basic installation instructions and one on one side, on the other is controls. Left 4 Dead 2 has it.
The
I'm
orange box
sure.
at it.
Yeah, the orange box has it. That's the point.
Yep.
And you can right-click on any of your games in Steam and look at a manual, and it's a proper manual. Team Fortress 2 actually is a joke one where it's the blueprints of a century, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, Valve have been doing it for the longest time, but we haven't complained. I think it's just that Ubisoft have announced they're doing it, and they don't have a good way to distribute online.
Well, obviously, if it's a successful venture, like if this catches on, and like it will, there's no way people are just going to stop buying Ubisoft's games because really they've been peddling shit for years and everyone still buys their stuff. So
Yep.
yeah, so when it does catch on, it probably will lead to the end of actual gaming manuals. And then the question is that are we still going to be paying the same price for for a game without a manual? Uh,
No, we'll probably be paying $10 more.
Yep.
yeah, like it doesn't seem to make sense, does it?
Thanks,
Like
Activision.
you're getting less and paying more. Like it's kind of dumb how that works. Where it just seems like we're getting everything taken away, and yet we're still paying more. And the same thing could be said about DLC. The releasing
Oh,
games without map packs and stuff that you have to pay for. When
Yeah.
like that's kind of a stupid marketing strategy. Like yes, they're squeezing money out of you, but that stuff should have been in the game anyway.
That mostly applies to day one DLC though. Like if DLC
yeah.
comes out on the same date as the game, it's possible that the DLC wasn't ready by the time the game went gold, but very unlikely. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff, especially story, like critical stuff, that needs to be in the game. You shouldn't have to pay for the fucking story on top of what you already paid for the game.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
what about I think it was BioShock 2, where they offered after like a week, they were like, "Oh, well, here's DLC." And everyone noticed on their Xboxes that it didn't take very long to download at all, and they figured out that that's because it was already locked away on the disc.
No, I think that
And
Yeah,
was Dragon
to
Age. I think that was Dragon Age.
was that Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 5 did it as well.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did too.
But
Dragon Age had the DLC directly on the disc.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
just pretty much defended it like, "Oh, well, so it's DLC."
Dragon
Like,
Age actually went one step further. Rather than the DLC being on a disc, but you don't even know it's there, the DLC was in there. Like, there was a guy, and he would say, "Hey, do you want to do this quest?" And you're like, "Sure." And he's like, "Have you bought it?" And you say,
yeah.
"No." And he's like, "Well, you can go to the store right now and buy the DLC." It's like, what the fuck? Why even put him in there? That's the worst advertising ever.
Yeah.
And he completely breaks the fourth wall to tell you to buy the DLC. And you're just like, well, there goes my
This
gaming experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So now
Guys,
we're
guys,
gonna have
there's a dragon
characters.
destroying my village, and if you have 9.95, you can come help.
So now we're gonna have characters in the games telling us to go read the manual. Oh, you don't know what to do here? Open up your digital manual and find the way.
Oh,
Like
look on the
that's
back of the CD case. Best copy protection ever.
Oh yeah, infallible. I don't know how
Well,
they're ever
the
gonna.
internet's killed that actually as well. Because I can find Meryl's codec number online.
uh
Uh,
But yeah, what
uh
about gaming magazines? Like, how do you
well,
think they're taking it?
I don't think they are making it, to tell you the truth.
uh, yeah. Like I read PC Gamer, and
Okay.
they've been shortening staff. The magazine's getting thinner and thinner. They've redesigned it a good, I think, 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years. Like
Yeah.
complete layout changes, and they're going through editors, like they're going out of style. So I'm pretty sure they're struggling.
Yeah, I really with the way that news is being delivered, digitally now, online and stuff, it's kind of, limiting the magazine's real catch. Like you used to get magazines to get the